am so happy to be here this afternoon with Monica and Dania from Tapestry of the Heart. I'm just so excited because I finished a 7-month-long retreat with both of them in April of this year, and it all started with the Letting Go weekend last August. And I'm just thrilled to have you both here because we'll be sharing a lot about these retreats, about the work that you do and how much you help us heal and therefore help our families and our loved ones feel better as well being in our company and vice versa. So I want to take a moment for each of you to introduce yourselves and then we can get started. Whoever would like to go first?
My name is Dania Lang. Thank you, first of all, Eva, for having us on your interview or your program. We really appreciate it. I have my private practice in Miami Lakes, and I come together with Monica to do some retreats, and we teach together.
And my name is Monica Viamonte, and thank you, Eva, for doing this. I'm from Brazil and being here. I have been living in US for 23 years now, and I'm so excited to be here. I also have a private practice in Coral Gables and run the retreats and workshops with Dania on our place called Tapestry of the Heart. That's our passion. We've been doing this for a while now.
Yes, it's a beautiful retreat center in Homestead with I don't know how many mango trees, an albino peacock.
And other creators.
Yeah, we're always searching through the feathers. It's just such a magical space that both of you and your team make us feel right at home from the minute that we walk in till the minute that we leave. And it's magical, and it's just so grateful that this exists here in Miami. A lot of people have this bad idea that Miami is only superficial and that, not much goes on, but there's this whole other side to our beautiful city that holds retreat centers such as yours to help people heal. A dear friend of mine, he had recommended me to go to Letting Go weekend. I want to say like 10 times before I finally said yes. And no offense to the both of you, but my ego for sure was getting in the way. And it wasn't after I got back from a trip with my family, with my parents and my children. I was gone with them for 3 weeks, that there were some bumps on that trip, some major ones where I came back and I knew I needed to do something different, because it didn't matter how much therapy I had attended, how many meditation retreats and other types of retreats I had gone to. I was still coming across the same issues with my parents. And the big, for me, waking up moment was that my children were observing it. And, obviously working as a psychologist, it starts shifting other things in my mind. Like I need to stop these patterns and from them and also within myself. So I think I got back on a Monday or a Tuesday, and your retreat was that weekend. I signed up the day before. I spoke with Donna and she said, I think you should come. I can't tell you much about it, but just show up. And so I did, and it's honestly been one of the most impactful weekends of my life. I won't divulge much, but it really catapulted me to change the way I see healing work and group work. And I'm just so grateful to the both of you. I'm so grateful because, the way that you hold space, the way that you nurture and take care of us as we're going through these processes isn't for the faint of heart, and it isn't for everybody. Meaning not everybody could do what you do. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's beautiful about that, Eva, is just how you felt in the center and how you felt that we held you and we were so gentle and so caring, is the way that real life should be. And so we give you tools in Letting Go Weekend and in our subsequent programs to be able to live life in a different manner than what you've been taught before. And that's what Letting Go Weekend is all about. It's about letting go the past letting go, whatever it is that is holding you back, to be able to learn something new about yourself, about your life, and how to live in a better way. Because after all, we all want to be happy and live better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe also that what we do is so unique and so beautiful because we don't stay on the cognitive mind.
Mm.
We don't stay with the mental, because we already have so much in the mental and so much activity there. And most of our issues are being held in our bodies, in our nervous system, in our subconscious mind, in a way that we're not even aware. So when people come and do the program and letting go weekend, and subconsciously the awakening of the heart is diving into deeper where everything is stored, and healing those moments in the past that still haunts us to this day.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty of letting go weekend, which is the first workshop, is that a lot of people are not aware of exactly the voices in the head and the patterns that are there constantly
Right.
repeating, and the toxicity on that. And people have no idea how to get out of there and how even deal with that. So going deeper and understanding on a different way where this comes from, and then starting repairing that, it makes such a difference. It's from the heart. It's like you said, it's from a place of love that this happens.
Yeah, and people often ask me, what am I going to learn in letting go weekend? Well, you're going to learn to love yourself. You're going to learn to love others in a different way, to look at life in a different way. And so it doesn't have to be the way that we were taught. You don't have to feel hopeless, helpless. There is so many things that you can learn. You just have to open up your heart and be able to just let go of what no longer serves you. It's really that simple. And so those are things that we teach you. Let go of what no longer serves you so that you can start to bring in more of what you deserve, because we all deserve the best. It's the chatter in our mind and what happened when we were children that makes us believe that we don't deserve the best, but in reality we do. And so that's what our program does. It's to discover yourself, to really understand yourself so that you can start to live from a happy place, a joyous place. And like Monica says, after Letting Go Weekend, we have a 7-month program called Awakening of the Heart, which is done with a very small group. It's a group of 12, and we do 1 week in a month for 7 months. And we also have other programs after that.
Yeah, it's life-changing. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the beautiful things in the letting go weekend is talking about, which is for a lot of people is like a wake-up call, is talking about the codependency that we all create in relationships. In reality, we're recreating what we have learned very early in life. And we talk about that codependency and how that works with the victim triangle, the patterns that like a dance, right? How we relate to each other is like a dance. Like I have a pattern and I communicate in a way, and then the other person comes and reacts in another way, and then this becomes like a repetitive dance. And to get out of there, it can be challenging sometimes because I've learned and I've been doing this for so long, but it's possible. It's possible to create healthier relationships. It's possible to create a healthy relationship with yourself, to learn to live with yourself in a different way that you feel more safe, that you feel more present, that it's not always in the past or in the future. It's right here, right now.
Yeah, and we also have business programs, Eva. We have a business program where we bring a drama-free environment to the workplace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite programs. We either come to your office or we have your office come to us, which is what's happened in the past. We've had like 1 full day retreats where the office comes in and we teach how to have zero drama in the workplace. Wouldn't that be a lovely concept?
Yeah, that would be life-changing for them as well. So much of
Mhm.
the business world it's so affected by burnout and by all the drama that goes on there that really affects the productivity and affects the mental health of everybody involved from the top all the way down to all the employees. So yeah, that's great.
Mhm. And it's so, we're so used to that, like Monica was saying, we're so used to the drama, the codependency, the victim energy, that it becomes normal. It's just something very normal to us, and we do it every day thinking it is normal, but it isn't normal, and it doesn't have to be that way. There is another side to it. There's another side to life, a way of living peacefully, of understanding that when things happen, there are lessons in life. Okay, let's look for solutions instead of dwelling on the problem. And that's the type of things that the programs teach us, how to deal with things from a different standpoint, in a different way than we've been taught to deal with things in life. How to manage ourselves, our time, our space, how to live from a place of love and heart instead of a place of ego and mind.
Yeah. I don't know, Monica, were you about to say something?
No, no,
Yeah,
it was good.
I mean, and there's something very powerful about doing it in a group setting.
Mhm.
As I work in one-on-one, there's a lot, and both of you do as well. We can see the beautiful and the magnificent changes that occur within the individual client. And when the work is done in group, everyone just feeds off of each other. The energy is exponential.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we live in
good.
unity, right? We live, and that for me, the most efficient way to grow is through relationships. That's how you really learn about yourself, because we are triggered by people all the
Right.
time. And we're so used to just react all the time. So when we're in a group setting and it's so safe, like where we hold the workshops and the retreats, and the whole circle is so safe that you can learn to repair that and respond different and create different more meaningful relationships through that experience.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it definitely is more powerful to work in a group setting.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're inadvertently lowering the ego if you're going to participate, right? The guard has to come down. At least it came down for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
One of
and when you're in a group, there's triggers, right? Because someone does something or said something and it triggers you. And we teach you how to clear up that trigger, how to understand where it's coming from so that you don't hold whatever it is that person did against them. And in that understanding and in that teaching of being able to clear the triggers, you develop more of an understanding of yourself and of them.
Mhm.
There's more connection, healthier connection.
Right.
Yeah. Most of the things that one of the things that a lot of people are not aware is how much the nervous system plays a role in our lives and because when we are triggered and we are in a place of reactivity for the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, sometimes it's such an overwhelming place to be that we go into shock and we go into a zoom out, like we just disconnect completely from reality. And that's the moment that we start operating from the past. That's where the survival behavior comes in, because that's what I've learned to survive. Either it is shutting down, if it is being invisible, or if it is shouting at everybody and being nasty, whatever it is that I have learned to survive as a little kid, that's how I'm still operating in my relationships. And so taking care of that part of the nervous system is such an important part, that you're not in shock so much, that you're more present, that you can come down and respond in a different way. So these are like different tools that we talk, like you've done the whole program and we're going to deeper into all of that. And it's just fascinating for me. Like every time we are in the group, every time we are teaching, it's just, it's our passion. It's just amazing to see the transformation, and you have witnessed all of that.
Yeah, definitely. I have. I agree with you. I think most of us don't, when you mentioned shock I didn't know what you were talking about.
Mhm.
I didn't know what you
Mhm.
meant. And we get stuck. We get stuck in these patterns of reactivity that really don't make any sense. And so then when we're done with that, what happens? We start feeling guilty or we start feeling ashamed. And then more behaviors come up or we apologize profusely, but we don't really change because we don't know why they're coming up. And what I love about these programs is that we talk about that there are some things that we learned in the past that create the blueprint, but we don't stay stuck there either. The both of you bring it back to the present. And so how
Mhm.
do we deal with it in the here and the now?
Yeah.
'Cause it's
And Eva, when you're stuck in the past, or when you go back to the past, you make a belief about yourself and you decide to behave a certain way, which fast forward to adulthood, you're still believing deep down the same belief you made when you were a little girl or a little boy, and you're still behaving that way. And so once you become aware of that, that's where the healing begins, because then you can make a change and say, wow, all my life I felt like I'm not good enough. All my life I felt like I'm alone. And now I have a choice to change that. And you do change it. And that's where the healing begins. Changing the old beliefs, the old patterns, the old behaviors. And I call it a miracle because not only do you change, but people around you that are noticing your change start to change as a result. And it's just a um, beautiful experience, beautiful work. I wanted to reference also when Monica was talking about shock, a normal human being, a normal person like you and I spends 85% of the day in shock. Um, that's a lot. That's a big percentage.
Yeah. And we're not even aware.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
how does that work? How is that possible?
Well, because first, like what I would like to mention before we even get into that, maybe giving an example, it would be simple for everybody to. We work with the past, and we work with even the womb or birth or the childhood. We use hypnotherapy and other processes to get there. But I'll give an example, simple, like let's say if your mother had a very stressful pregnancy with you, right? Then the 9 months of our lives is our first home here is the womb of our mother. So if you felt inside, if you develop your body and your nervous system and under stress, there is a belief that the world is very stressful. And there's a belief that because of that, I cannot trust, usually. There's this survival mechanism all the time to protect myself in order to survive. So we grow up repeating that subconsciously, and then when we are old and we start having relationships, whatever relationship it is, usually there's that wall that guards us, and we're not aware why, and not even how to change that. And there's so much shock, frozen shock, because of that, because of like the protection that I have to hold to myself, that being in the womb of our mother is not cognitive. It's not like, oh, okay, my mom is stressed right now, so I have to protect myself. It's not cognitive. It's just like all under survival. And we operate into that. So when we are operating in survival, either we go into frozen or fight or flight. We call sympathetic or parasympathetic shock. And fight or flight is like, I just want to fly from here. I want to fight with the world. It's like, it's a very anxious energy. The parasympathetic is the frozen, is like, I am completely collapsed and shut down because I don't even know what to do with this. It's so overwhelming.
Right.
So
Mhm.
when you are in your daily lives, it can be your work, it can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be a spouse, a partner, whatever it is. And it can be a simple word that they tell you or a look that they give you that you go into the autonomic nervous system and go, oops, right now I'm in danger. I have to protect myself. And automatically I go into shock. Does it make sense? And I want to make sure that I'm trying to explain something simple and which is not so simple, but
Well, it
you know,
makes perfect sense to me, Monica.
I hope that whoever is
Yeah.
listening is seeing this can
Well,
understand because
And
it's a lot. This is like a theme itself.
yes,
totally.
yeah,
But it
we can
is
spend a whole
so,
week.
yeah, but it's so present in our lives. If we're not aware, we're like all of a sudden we're gone.
Yeah.
Have
And
you
it,
ever experienced driving to a place to another, you're not even there? You don't even know how you got there,
yeah.
right? Or you don't remember things that you said. Like, no, I didn't say that. Like we would just black out. You just like shut down.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the beauty of this is that you're explaining it from a cellular level. And,
Mhm.
when I'm working with some clients, a lot of parents will say to me, I think this and this about my child, but they don't know. It's like,
Mm.
well, they were
Yes,
in you for 9 months.
exactly.
They
And
they they
what's
know.
they know. They
They,
feel it.
right. They feel it.
Um,
They might not know word for word what you're thinking, but when we understand, and this is why we're having this conversation, because it's time that this information becomes more popularly known. It's
yes,
not just because of a show that we watched or because someone just happened to have some kind of experience when they were 5, or because their boss yelled at them and fired them at 37, or because they caught their wife cheating on them at 43. This is the way that we react has been segmented and cemented into the body from birth, and
yes,
we carry the DNA from past generations. And so it's not just what happens in this moment in time, which that's what we're learning to be, is to be present. But as we're present and we're dealing with things that are happening in the present moment, we are also working through on a cellular level everything that's happened in the past. Does that
right.
Absolutely.
make sense?
Yeah. And Eva, if you believe when you were a child or when you were in the womb, if you believe that the world is an unsafe place to be in, you're going to spend your entire life attracting persons, people, circumstances that are going to make you feel unsafe. So you can say, you see, I'm right. I'm right. I'm feeling
Right.
like this because.
And it's not that the embryo feels unsafe, right? Because the belief isn't there, but it's the reaction that the body is having. And that's why the work that you do in these retreats and these programs is also focusing on the body, because we can talk until we're blue in the face about something. But if
Exactly.
the body doesn't feel anything different, it won't matter. It won't.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's what I love. It's people say like, no, but I cannot. I was one of them. I can say like, I couldn't remember much of my past. And people tell me like, but I don't know how to remember my past. I don't need your memory, your cognitive memory. The body holds. And so it's holding everything that we have experienced. That's why the body is such a sacred temple, because since we're a fetus, since we're conceived, we already are carrying in a cellular level all the experiences that our parents are having, the surroundings. We are already being developed under that. And it's being in our nail, in our fingers, developed in every little part of our bodies. And when we do a process, and you know that because you also seen it, it's automatically, because the body knows, the body remembers.
The body
There,
doesn't lie.
there's a memory, is the
Yeah.
most honest source that you have is your body.
Mhm.
Because even sometimes people like are just crying and they don't even know why. Because the body knows, the body remembers. And that's where the healing for us is. These are the moments that you get to repair, which is not here. It's not in the cognitive mind.
Yeah. And so, the cognitive mind, the conscious mind, is only 10% of your mind. All of our memories, our feelings, our emotions are in the 90%. And that's where we come in.
Mhm.
We go into the 90% so that you can get a true healing for whatever it is that's going on in your life.
Yeah. And then feel safe. All this we should be taught in school when we're growing up.
Elementary school.
Yeah, because think of that, like, yeah, when I was little, again, as a fetus, whatever, if I didn't feel safe to feel my feelings or to have a family that could contain that for me. And that's why a lot of people are shut down and disconnect from their feelings because they're so afraid, because it's so overwhelming. If we have learned to feel and to have a place that we could honestly just express in a healthy way, imagine how beautiful the world will be.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how less misunderstandings we will have. There's so much misunderstanding, so much miscommunication because people just assume and judge others for what they see. And
Right.
there's beyond that.
And how beautiful, Eva, like you said, everything that we teach and that you learn in our programs, you can turn around and take home with you. So that safety that we create, that love that we show, that container of love, of safety, of nurturing, it's for you to learn and take it home so you can apply it to those you love, to yourself, first of all, and those that you love.
How do you know when someone's ready to participate in a retreat like this, in a letting go weekend, and then we can talk
So
about the longer program?
what's the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear?
I'm in trouble then.
But I will tell you one thing that we always tell the groups. The mind plays a lot of tricks on us and sabotages a lot of stuff. So
What do
I
you mean?
always tell our students, we always say, like, the time is always now. People use time as a tool to excuse themselves of not doing something. Oh, it's not time. Or it's not. Well, maybe you can say, I choose not to do this time, but time is always here. The opportunity is always here. And we have people that they almost didn't come and they decide to come. They almost closed the door, but okay, I'm gonna open. And they feel like, thank God I did this. Thank God it's a leap of faith. Yes, it is. But how beautiful it is to have the opportunity to heal. For me, healing is like one of the most spectacular things. I love, we do our healing, we go into our own retreats and teachers and therapy because it's such an amazing feeling to be able to live life in a different way. Not to keep repeating the same old thing again and again and again.
Yeah.
And attract the same.
And to understand that you have a choice. How beautiful is that? A lot of times people come in and they're like, we have a choice. Yes, you do have a choice. You have free will. You have a choice. And so, like Monica said, the time is now because this is the only time that we have. And you have a choice to say, you know what? I want to live differently. I need to let go of whatever it is that is no longer serving me. I want to look at life differently. I want to experience life differently. I want to feel different. And so the time is now.
And do you think that this type of workshop is meant more for women or for men? What do you think?
Everyone, I think every child in elementary school should have letting go weekend. Their life would be
Definitely,
completely different.
definitely, definitely. For everyone that feels the calling, everyone that feels like, I want something different. I'm done. Enough of this.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Like, I want anyone that feels like, yeah, I want to change. I want to learn something different. Yeah. The first step is letting go weekend. And then if you feel the calling to do the program, that is magnificent. The 7 months program it's my
Life
heart
changing.
is. I just like we have witnessed so much, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
We actually have a letter from, we had a couple who came through and we have a letter from their child. I think the child was 5 or 6 when she wrote the letter thanking us of how her parents have changed and how the family dynamics in her home have changed.
Mhm.
What a beautiful confirmation to have a child write a letter.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was happily surprised to see so many men at the Letting Go weekend, and that there were several men in our group for Awakening of the Heart. It was really nice. It was refreshing to
Yeah, I
see.
think there's a call for from the world, like the world is feeling that. I mean, more and more we're seeing that people want something else.
Yeah.
There's a search for something else. Before it was like, oh, this is for crazy people. There's this whole stigma of like healing. And now, thank God, this is opening up to a different thing. And we need it. Look at everything that is happening in the world.
Yeah. People are curious,
Right?
and we're thrilled because we're actually seeing more men, for one. When we first started the programs, it was majority all females. Now we're actually seeing more men, and there's just more curiosity,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
we even have 70, what's the oldest we've had? 72.
Mhm.
Um, and
Also 20-year-olds. That
20-year-olds, the
oh,
younger and younger generation.
yeah,
Yes.
not to age us, but I was also so happy to see so many young 20-year-olds. I don't know if I had done Letting Go or Awakening the Heart in my 20s, who knows where I'd be right now, but
Right?
it's just amazing that they're understanding and releasing from from so young, that they have that capacity, that curiosity, that desire. It's just great. It really
To
is.
live differently, to do something different that has never been done in their family.
Right, and to just prepare for whatever else is to come. And I think that speaks really highly for the both of you, that you can reach the hearts of so many different types of people.
Mhm.
Because, to be working with young 20-year-olds, that they get it, is one thing. And then another is to be working with 40, 50-year-olds, where we've gone through our own set of
Mhm.
things,
Mhm.
that we recognize the importance of it. And then to be able to reach the heart of men, that sometimes, because of what society teaches them, that they have to be the macho man, the closed off one, the ego and all of that. And to see the processes in them, it gives a lot to say about the both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eva. And one thing that we haven't mentioned is, it's only Monica and I, and we're limited on time. And we work very hard, but we would love to be able to reach more people. And so we are starting to teach now teachers so that this can continue to be had these retreats, because they're so important, so life-changing. And so we look forward to starting that
Mhm.
later this year,
Yeah.
starting to teach the teachers,
Mhm. Yeah, that's great.
like yourself, Evan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
And
always, for me, every time someone any healing that happens for me, is like Mother Earth takes a deep breath.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, there's this, hope of, yeah, there's so much darkness, but there's so much light. And we got to deal with both. But which one you choose to feed, which one you choose to be on it. We both have both sides. But it just gives me so much hope when someone comes and decides and take the opportunity and stop their lives just to take care of themselves, to look inside. Nobody's gonna do this. There's no shortcut. We don't believe in shortcut. You go inside and you go deeper and you take the leap of faith and you do your work, and then you go discover so much. For me, it's one of the life changing for me in my whole life is to find out what is inside of me. Things
Mhm.
that I was not even aware. I was just operating automatically. And now I can understand what's happening every time it's happening and deal with it in a different way. Right.
Yeah, and it is a big commitment, right? People ask us, wow, that's 7 months, 1 week in a month for 7 months. It's a big commitment. And oh, wow, it's a lot of money. But guess what? You're worth it. Every single one of you that is listening to this, you are worth it. You're worth the commitment. You're worth the time. You're worth the money.
To
And
invest in yourself.
to invest in yourself. And, a lot of humanity is lacking that. We do so much for everyone else, but we don't take care of ourselves. And you can't help someone else correctly or sufficiently enough if you're exhausted from helping everyone else. And so, is it a commitment? Absolutely, but you deserve it.
One of the biggest lessons I've gotten from what you're saying this year is that when you commit to something, when you're fully devoted to something or someone or some cause, life rewards you in ways that you've just never ever could imagine. It's like everything just opens up into this beautiful kaleidoscope of opportunities that only would happen because you said, I'm here, I'm committed, I'm devoted, let's party. And life is
Yeah.
okay. You want to
Yeah.
party? We're going to party. It's going to be big and it's going to be what you can handle, maybe a little bit more, but it'll be amazing. And I think with the advent of AI and a lot of these online therapy type of programs, it's so important that programs like yours exist because we can ask Siri how I'm not feeling good, Siri, and Siri will say, I hope you feel better. Or we can go on to some kind of a program and it'll create this whole manualized type of treatment plan for you to do better. Just Google, I'm sad, what do I do? And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
We
Yeah.
need a human connection. We need and proper human connection.
Right.
That starts from within.
Healthy human connection,
Right.
which
And also, we have a saying that we say all the time, you know that of it. They will say practice makes permanent.
Yeah.
And awareness is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful tool. Amazing is the first step. But you have the awareness, and if you don't do anything after, if you don't practice something different, guess what? You will go back to the same old story again. So yes, it can be challenging in the beginning to do something different, to make a left instead of a right. But if you do enough, if you practice enough to be determined to change it, that will be your new way to go. That will be your new default. You won't default to the old, but it takes time, it takes patience. It took 40 years, 30 years, 50 years to learn something new. You need time to develop that new, but you gotta practice. You gotta be able to use the tools that you're learning, which is not only awareness. Awareness is only the beginning. Healing needs and that's what the beauty of the 7 months program is. Like every weekend we get to solidify what we're doing more, because it's not only 1 weekend. Well, letting go is only 1 weekend, but if you decide to do the program every weekend, you learn more things and you solidify what we're teaching and the processes that you are experiencing. It gets to go much deeper for sure.
When are the next letting go weekends? When are the next?
So the next letting go weekend, we only do it once a year, usually in August. We have one August 9th weekend and August 23rd weekend.
So
And
those 2 weekends we're gonna offer.
and you have the option of you can either stay on the property that we use to do the letting go weekend, which only holds 20 beds, has 20 beds, or you can go home and come back because it's a 7 to 10 on Friday night and then like 9 to 5, 8:30 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. So you can come and go if you don't want to stay there.
But we really recommend that you stay if you can.
Yeah.
Because you stay with the energy and the environment, and then you just don't go home and then you might go home to something and then you just disturb what you. If you can stay, plan to stay. If you can't, that's fine too. But
yeah, and I've been approached and asked, I healing is so difficult for me, and I honor that. I understand that. But guess what? Not healing is even more difficult and more painful. And so letting go weekend, trust me when I tell you it's way easier to just let it go than to hold on to whatever it is that you're carrying and take it with you the rest of your life. Now that is really challenging.
that is exhausting.
That is exhausting. Yeah.
And again, for those of us who are parents,
Yes, for sure.
I don't like to use it, but I will use it. We're teaching our kids. We're passing it on to them.
Yeah.
And then what? You know, it's
Yep. And they're observing.
They're
It's
taking
not
notes.
something that you're teaching them by telling them. They're observing your behavior, observing your relationships with your family, with your friends, and they're taking notes, mental notes.
Mhm. For sure. So I hope you can, hear the calling.
Take a
Just
chance.
take a chance. If not, it's only August of next year. So there's 2 weekends and choose one and we just go. And we'll have a beautiful time. We cry, we laugh, we have fun. It's beautiful. It's worth it. You are worth it.
Yes, absolutely. You are worth it.
Start
You're
with letting a weekend. And
100%.
if you feel like I want to go deeper, like Eva did, Eva just felt like, yeah, I want more of that. And stay for the 7 months starting in September.
Mhm.
in September it starts.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's called Awakening of the Heart.
Amazing.
We really go dive into the heart for sure. That's the place to be.
I'm not the same person that I was.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Definitely not. And the things that continue to come up, I see them differently,
Mhm.
and then I approach them differently. And that's the really nice thing again about group work, about experiential work, about this level of connection, that it really just comes from within, that then we stop seeing things as so separate from each other, and we start to understand, and not in an overwhelming type of way, but we just start to understand, oh my gosh, it's the way I do one thing is the way I do everything. And if that's what that means, then what does it say about me? And how can I love myself more deeply so that I stop? And it's just a completely different mindset and frame of mind than before, which is critical and negative. And I can't thank you both enough. And your team,
Mhm.
what I mean by team is the volunteers who support you both. And it's just, you do everything to make us feel at home, and to have a safe space of family love and containment that I will always treasure. And I always recommend to my clients for them to come to you. And I'm recommending here because it's so lovely, and you're local. You're here in South
You're
Florida.
welcome.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't have to
Just
get on
a
a
car
plane.
drive away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or take a plane. Like we
Take a
have people
plane like
that just
one of our
from
participants.
other cities, even other country. It's
That's right. That's right. Exactly. One of our lovely participants, she was from Texas, but it's just it's wonderful, and I'm so grateful for the both of you to take the time to talk with me today. And we'll be posting the flyer along with this so that other people who are interested know how to contact you and sign up. Sign up.
yes.
I thank you,
Go to
Eva.
our website, www.tapestryoftheheart.com. And we have an Instagram also, Tapestry of the Heart. So in the website, you have all the information about the programs, how to sign up, the Letting Go Weekend, everything that you want to know is there. So
Yeah.
go
And
there.
it's just a click. And you're in the website, it's a click, you can sign up. Our numbers are there, our information is there. If you need to talk to us, call us. If you have any questions, please don't let this opportunity pass you by. It's a beautiful weekend.
Yes.
It is. Thank you
Thank
both
you,
so
Eva.
much.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you, Eva. Thank you so
spending
much
the
for
time.
doing this.
We love you.
Yes, I love you
Thank
very much, Eva.
you.